Emmanuel, this is such an intriguing film. The work you get out of the people you've cast in this is just absolutely visceral. It's incredible. Was there something about Anthony's story or maybe the premise that truly drew you to be a part of this film?
Wow. Well, thank you. It was so nice to meet you. And that is a very, very big compliment. And I absolutely agree that we got incredible performance from the mega talent in this movie. And I think everyone just showed up because they believed in the story and were really committed to being really present. You know, it's a film that takes place in one night, so the stakes are really immediate and intense. And so that brings a sort of physicality, I think, to a lot of the performances and along with like their goals and fears of the night. And yeah, I think that, the story really just landed for a lot of the actors.
Anthony, I said that the performances are just exceptional in this. First of all, did you have a hand in helping select the cast to play these roles you created? And what did you think of the performances?
Yeah, I mean, Emmy and I have we had made two short films before and wanted to make a feature together. And so, we concepted a lot of the story together and we're on the same page, from the very beginning. And when I wrote it, it was, with her overlooking it and knowing that we were going to make this film together. So it's been very collaborative and that continued on. I was involved in all the casting, which was great. And, it's her show. She's the director. But, when she asked me for my input, I happily gave it. And, we worked together on set. I was there every day as well. And just as a support and someone there to be there and look after the words, if you will. And I thought I thought they did an amazing job. And what Emmy said is she got great performances out of all of these really talented actors. And yeah, it was a tough shoot. It was a lot of nights. It was all of that. And our cast really showed up and did a amazing job. So I was thrilled to see their performances and couldn't be happier.
I mean, what was it about Mikey Madison that really made her the perfect River?
Mikey is a complete professional as an actor. And when she decided to lock on to the role, she became River. She spent time with Mia. They would go hang out and kind of forge their bond as mother-daughter, even though they weren't. And they would draw pictures, hang out together. And she just she really is committed to diving into that character's world, what they listen to, what they wear. And I think because she's such a professional, she can take on any role that she is connected to.
Well, Mia is absolutely adorable, and she, I think, embodies the innocence and the love clearly that Jade has for her mother. And even though she's well aware, it seems, well, at least she's become aware of the grittier background. Well, she does say, "I love me to go out and be dangerous." So I think she's a little bit more aware than you would think of a 5-year old. Um, Anthony, I really think that each of these characters is well crafted. And what was the idea behind Silas? Was he meant to be this evil drug lord that really is willing to go as far as it takes? I mean, talk about your craft work for coming up with this character.
Yeah, Silas was he was a really fun character to write, and he it was fun to play with kind of the contradictions of him, like you were just talking about. Is that yes, he will go that far, but he views himself as being this nice guy who's doing this, woman who he had this relationship with in the past a favor. And so it was fun to kind of play on that edge of him, having this thought about himself while actually, he will go to extreme lengths to protect his business. So yeah, I wanted to have fun with that character in that way. And a lot of times it's fun to write evil characters. You don't want them to be arch. You want to make sure they feel believable and real. And that was something that, I really tried to work on and hopefully came across. But he was a lot of fun to write. We had to pull him back a couple times. Not the actor. I'm saying the character. Sometimes I'd write a little too far and all of that. But I think we found the right balance of having him, be this bad guy who you don't like, but thinks of himself as something different.
Yeah, I mean, I love he's like, what is she, 3 now? No, your daughter is 5.
Yeah.
That is that says everything I think I need to know about Silas.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Or
mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
is there a scene that really turned out maybe even better on screen than you and Anthony had sort of plotted out ahead of time?
Oh my gosh. Um, I mean, the process of taking a script and bringing in all the elements to actually bring it into a scene in a movie is just an incredible experience. So it already becomes even better than you imagine because um, you're figuring it out as you go. Like we would sometimes get to a place, even though we had planned production in another area, and I would connect with my cinematographer, Sean Bagley, and we would sidebar and be like, you know what, like, why this isn't speaking to my gut. Let's go like finagle a neighbor's house and sneak in there and try to shoot it there instead. And so everything is constantly moving and adjusting. And so every scene kind of has its own life. I will say the scene that became a pretty pivotal moment in the movie and kind of harkens back to the title is the scene with River and Danielle in the house when Danielle prays for her. And in the screening last night that we had with our cast and crew, a few people said that they actually choked up during that scene. So I was happy to see um, that we were able to move people in the theater at the same time on a part where we hoped that we would move them in the script.
Anthony, what are your thoughts on your favorite scenes?
I mean, I think one that was just really cool and thinking back to the filming was kind of the stunt scene where she's driving out of the house.
Oh my God.
Thinking about what was that weird, I don't know all the technical term of that, like robo camera that was in the thing, and the stunt shots, which were really cool. And I think what Emmy and Sean, Bagley, our DP, were able to pull off for, the resources we had, I thought was really amazing. So, that was cool. And I love also, I think what a moment that always sticks in my head is River and Jade in bed and at the beginning of the movie. And it was one of those things, the first thing we shot, and just the two of them and setting the table for this relationship between mother and daughter, which is really what the movie's about. And the way that they shot that, I thought was so beautiful and really makes me feel in that moment.
As I said, all of the performances are just exceptional in this movie, and I really think that both of you have brought the best out in the people who are performing these. Emmanuelle, I'll ask you, what do you hope lingers with audiences that watch this film?
Um, I hope that they, there's a lot of darkness in the movie, but I feel very hopeful that there's this stay dangerous mentality about when you're faced with darkness or you watch someone going into the darkness, that at the end of the day, they can have this strength and sense of humor about the hardship in life. So really it's about kind of laughing into the abyss after a long night of the soul.
Anthony?
Yeah, I think that I agree with Emmy, and there's some, I think there's some, we didn't want to go too big on some, but like there is the idea about confidential informants and the war on drugs and those things, which is, it wasn't a message movie, but like that was part of the motivation for making this film, was that this is a real thing that can happen and does happen. So that's something. And then, I think a mother's love for their daughter, and a single mom trying to make it and make life for her child, who was thrown into some bad circumstances but would do whatever it takes. So those are a couple of things that I hope people take away.